Ball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Old School on a Wednesday. Wow, we had quite the walk here.
Hey, DP,
that's quite the walk.
I did not want this.
Yeah.
You got the Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, that's
you got the chip equivalent of when Manny Pacquiao was really actually fighting for real. You got his combination. You got the head movement, and then he hit you with the body blow.
I'm not sure what to.
Can you even speak?
If this chip is like boxing Manny Pacquiao, I understand why people didn't want to.
I understand it, man.
That's tough.
You tough,
it's
Rico.
Tough. It's tough.
Yeah, Rico.
Like,
we can't never question. Here's what we can't do. I don't know about the young man in there because he haven't seen him do it. Right, Jake. Those two guys in there. Look at these two dudes. They look like they ready to get questioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about Nick, you talk about Rico. I put their toughness as radio producers up against anybody in the state lines
because they went through it.
Yeah, and it'd be in athletics, scrapping, mental toughness. They there. I mean, you got to think, Rico. For the short amount of time DP's obviously been around longer than me, but we have trained you and Nick. We've taken you when you get old like us. You're gonna be like that, just that old dude just walking up on this. Hey, dude, you don't want none of it. He come try to talk to your daughter. You don't want none of these hands. Then you're gonna revert back to when you had this Pacquiao, real peppers, and he's like, "Hey, I ate that chip, and I'll give you the heat. You want the gut bomb?
I'll drop him.
Right, straight body blow.
I got fire in my body. Trust me.
In your veins. I always say when you get older, as a former athlete, there's like once or twice a year, you got to do something to see if you still have the mental toughness and power that you used to have. So you used to have it every day. Now you just strive for that one day. It used to be SIP, so since it's SIP's in there listening, up until COVID, every summer I would dunk.
Mm-hmm.
That's all from Marcus Johnson. You remember, you do it. But COVID has not been good to the waistline, DP. I mean, the weight is just it's gravity taking me down, and I only got a couple more months to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I'm gonna get there. The ball, like when you're at practice and the ball gets stuck. Just last year, because I did it last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could just be talking to you. Boop. The other night, hey, Gravity said, "Come here." Hey, say,
It grabbed you by the shoelace.
No, it grabbed me back here, right? When I used to make my grandma mad. I tried to get away. She would just put the one finger here.
Yeah.
Come here, young man.
Just got you on the nape of your neck.
Yep.
That's like it smacked you and just grabbed.
Fruit of the loom. There.
Like when you pick up a puppy, got you right there.
Come down here real quick and stand right here with reality.
It's tough getting old.
I still got a couple months though, man.
It's tough getting old. That's at about 49. It wasn't 50. It was right before 50, where everything
stopped working.
Yeah, it was like I could chase down like my high school receivers.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right. I could also go over to the offensive linemen, those 300-pounders, and I could put hands on them.
Yeah, you
right?
could be a good
little
leverage,
asset. Right? Good little action.
Now
Basketball, I could go up against the varsity, and I could get into the lane. Right? I could get into the lane and get my shot off. And then at that point, the body was like, enough. We're done.
Yeah.
You try to go by somebody and you can't.
Yeah.
I took BP, and that's when I blew up I tore my bicep in 2 places.
Right.
And I just went, okay, this is
that's about it.
Yeah. I'll tap out. I'm officially old dude, and I'm okay with it. Like, so, but the excitement that Rico had to take this on, because you want the challenge. Like, you want the challenge. That's why I did the wings challenge, just to see, okay, how tough am I?
He came in hype though.
Yeah, he was ready. He was ready. He had his milk. He had his ice cream.
Like I said, I've told you this before. Any challenge that you put in front of me, if you present me with a challenge, I'll probably consider it for about a minute and a half, and I'll probably say yes. It's kind of like the thing you said with the being like a former athlete and doing something athletic. It's just a need to do something. Like, I just need to do something to prove that I can do it.
The beauty of maturity is that I'm past most of that. Like, I still stepped into the wing challenge just because I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, we said
like Tom and Bach and Nick are doing it. I can't be outdone.
You had agreed to 3 wings, and then we talked you to 4, and then we talked you to 5, and then you did all 10.
Well, because it's just okay. Let me find a way to get through it. This is no joke.
Yeah, it's no punk.
This is no joke, and but I love when athletes do it, because athletes have a way of getting through pain. Like, depending on your sport, wrestlers have probably the highest level.
If you walking around with them
through.
ears looking like that, you ain't got nothing. This is probably just a walk in the park. You know what they need to do at the opposing team hotels? You know, when they play basketball and football, you need to sprinkle a couple of, just break them up.
He's gonna put chip chips in the.
You know how they have like chips and salsa or something like that, or like those little like tortilla chips in the salad.
That looks like those the darker tortilla strips.
Yeah. So you could just.
Ooh, that'd be.
You playing against, I don't know. You playing against Muhammad from the Gophers. Yeah. And the running backs, and they all they got a good salad mix over here. Here you go.
Well, that's the Michael Jordan in Utah pizza thing.
I ate the pizza.
Yeah,
nobody else ate the pizza.
Right, like it's a pizza thing that miraculously. Well, that's why a lot of players, especially in the NBA, because you're on the road all the time, and room service is the get by. Like, that's how you get by. But you're on the road trusting, and the people in the hotel know that you're the opposing team.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So we would always, and this is back in my Grand Hyatt days, we were the hub for the NBA. So the opposing teams always came to the Grand Hyatt in DC. And then whoever was running the restaurant at night, which was usually me and somebody else, we handled room service because we were the only outlets open.
Right.
And we knew over the course of time what players would come in, what teams would come in, what players wanted.
Yeah.
And then they would send the advance on, hey, can you keep 30 salads available, this sort of salad? Can you keep this number of wings, this number of hamburgers, et cetera, et cetera? Steaks is usually the way it works. And then you deliver them.
Right.
But each player wouldn't always go under their real name.
Oh, yeah.
So that was how they kind of protected. But you could get, because let's say, somebody would actually use Alonzo Mourning's name, but it would be the equipment manager.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like when they'd have the peasants drink the wine before the king would.
Yep. Sip it. Taste it. It's like Gladiator, right? Where they're gonna poison you first.
Yeah.
So his dude's like, I'll try it. I'll take a bite for it. Yeah. It's tough, Rico. You had a tough morning. Mad respect. We'll throw it to break. We'll come back. We'll get into some basketball because the Huskers played last night, and the women play tomorrow. So we'll talk about that. And we had an interesting evening on Ticket Weeknight. So we'll break down some of that stuff with you next on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Starting the right career is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You want to enjoy your career, be challenged, have fun, earn a great weekly paycheck, and work for a great company. If you're looking for a career change or right out of high school, the John Henry's Plumbing Apprentice Program may be the perfect answer. You'll get paid while getting hands-on training. We focus on your skills while you engage in real-world learning. Why not join the John Henry's team today? Apply at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And now a limerick from the world of Yum.
There once was a man in a bind. He's got the best wife in all mankind. And with Valentine's Day not that far away, he needs the greatest gift he can find. Jewelry can be hit or miss, and that vacuum was quickly dismissed. Flowers, they die. Homemade, don't be that guy. But what about that bakery in Beatrice? Liqueur cakes, you'll eat every crumb. Fruit cakes made with brandy, bourbon, and rum. And those chocolate cake squares. Do I have to drive you there? Get yourself to the world of Yum.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Early break with Sip and Jake.
Ed Orgeron joins us. You have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that?
I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kiffin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, old school on a Wednesday. Huskers fall to Illinois 81-71. I don't think the score was indicative. It was a 16-6 run in the final 3 minutes to get you to where you were. They were even. They had the awful defensive possession where Illinois, did the Moses Malone.
Yeah, they got the stats up.
Three taps, 4 offensive rebounds in the bucket. And then they go on a 7-0 run and end up on a 16-6 run to close it out. Jay, you were asking questions before. Go ahead and ask those questions.
Well, I was asking because the easy with the ease that they were able to get the ball into Cockburn. I think he like gutted. He wasn't like off the charts, but I think that he is so big. I mean, I didn't realize how big that dude is. Number one. I mean, I'm a decent sized dude, but he is like, he don't even look like normal.
He's Shakish.
Oh, I've met Shaq, and that is what Shaq looked like, you know, when he was younger. But back to it, the ease of the entry pass in there, and he was getting so deep in the paint. Now, I do think that the refs weren't giving Nebraska any favors because I counted 3 different times that it was like 6 seconds in the lane. There was a couple travels. That's here nor there. I was asking you off the break, and the only reason is because I watched the Texas Tech game as well, which in Texas Tech and Baylor, and they're a little bit undersized, kind of like Nebraska. So you just and they had to do it against Baylor because Baylor's got some tall dudes and athletic and not as big as Cockburn was the possibility. And I'm not listen here. First of all, I know Fred and those guys are under a lot of heat because of the secret extension and obviously not playing well. I'm not trying to coach. I'm asking just to conversate, right? This is not questioning. I have 100% confidence in all the coaches and Fred and all those. So I want to get that out there before people on the text line and Twitter world try to say that I'm trying to, you know, take over the coach. Is it a possibility of like I call it a revolving 3-2 defense. And what I mean by that is you can extend the 3 guys up front or you can play a little bit lower. I felt like Illinois wasn't, or at least last night, I know they shot better from the 3 in the second half, wasn't as a dangerous outside shooting team as say as Ohio State, Michigan, and other like Creighton, you know, where you could kind of do that. And I think it would maybe, I was asking your opinion, do you think that would help on the ease of getting that entry pass in there? Because what people don't understand, I mean, for you people on campus, and I'm not sure if Derek Walker is on campus, if he's not a graduate or whatever, but if you fans and students see Derek Walker, you need to adapt that dude. That is a bad dude right there. You know what I'm saying? And I've always thought that he's played well, but the efficiency that he pretty much ran circles around Cockburn was no joke. And I'm not, and Eduardo Andre as well. But Derek Walker battled him, was smart about it, made some plays. It wasn't easy. He actually guarded him one-on-one 85% of the time. And that's why I'm asking you, right? Because he was awful effective on the offensive end. But you could see just by, I mean, that's 285 pounds on the black and white. He might be 300, and homeboy ain't got an ounce of fat on him. Right. I mean, he's built like, you know, like how you played 2K when you want to say, hey, I'm going to have a 7-foot guy, 200 pounds, and he's going to be, I mean, he is yoked to the gills. He's got thighs, calves. He's flexible, not overly fast. But when he wanted to go for that loose ball, though, that was funny. Hey, he had a little bit of speed to him, though, didn't he? But them hamstrings are tight. So I wanted to ask back to it. Do you think a 3-2 defense or something like that, just a change of pace? You know what I mean? And I think the few times they did do kind of like a 2-3 or something, it actually helps guys that aren't, in my opinion, very, how can I say this, very efficient rebounders like Latman. I think it would help Bryce as well because it makes you rotate, right? Sometimes I see with Nebraska's man-to-man defense, when the ball goes away from them, they kind of stop. Well, once the shot goes up, if I'm guarding DP and I'm here kind of chilling, looking at the shot, even if once you get even with me, I'm beat. You get what I'm saying? So what is your opinion on that?
So there's a lot to unfold. Yeah. So defensively, if we're even, I'm leaving. That's that applies in football as well. That Lat, when he was backside in their compression, he was doing well. But once they start making threes, Lat got caught in nowhere land. He got caught in nowhere land. Like, yeah. Do I help on Kofi and still be able to get out to the three line? He was better in the first half than he was in the second half. What teams are doing against Nebraska is to force them to honor a second pass.
Yeah.
So there's ball pressure, and then there's one pass away pressure. Big Ten basketball is 2-pass, aggressive, fast. So most teams will defend on ball hard. One pass away, they will try to take away that pass. So there's a slight angle and leverage. Yeah. Right. To make that pass at least a little more difficult. Right. And then to be there to contest that 3.
Right.
on each possession, when you watch, if you looked at 20 possessions last night, on 18 of those possessions, the 3 on-ball defenders were on point.
Right.
What happens is the fake hustle happens on the 2
Second
pass defenders,
or third,
right? And if you're playing against a team that isn't hitting threes or isn't talented, you can do that. And which is why they had success when that was happening.
Yeah.
But the rule of defense is do your work before
Early.
the ball gets there.
If you don't want to play defense, that's one thing. I had a coach came to Minneapolis from was it not Christ the King. It was a church AAU school, Walt West. He's like, for you guys that don't want to play defense on the ball, he's like, just defend them early. And I didn't know what he meant until like halfway through the season, and he sat down and explained it to me, and he had me out of the game, and we were sitting there, and he wasn't even watching whether we were winning or not. You know, I mean, obviously he was trying to get me to understand. Maybe he felt like if I kind of had figured it out and bought into it, then he showed me like 4 different plays. If you defend this guy, when he tries to flash, you knock him off, you know, and he equated it to football for me. He's like, when at that time I was playing running back, he's like, if you're running through a hole and you see darkness, you're going there somewhere else. It's no different being a point guard. If you see somebody within range to steal the ball, then you're going to go somewhere else.
Well, go to where the pressure came from. So
right. If it's a double team, but
right.
he was just saying, like, if he came off, like if he was coming off a pick and roll and I just let the guy go across my face, well, then he sees separation. So then that's where the ball's going to go. But if he sees me guarding him, then he's going to have to go somewhere else. And then we can rotate the defense and X, Y, and Z. So, yeah, it's different. I think the 2 biggest things, I think that hurt their rebound in the second half. I think maybe they got worn out by
absolutely
big fellas.
Leaning on Kofi for 30 minutes.
And the thing about him, what people don't understand, he uses his body. I know he got 4 fouls, and that would have been great if we could get him out of the game. But all their bigs, especially him, what he does, he uses his body. He literally body checks you. And he does it really good, so that he doesn't get in foul trouble much. But we were attacking
in space. You can get him in.
Yeah, you can get him. But the way they defended us and the way we were running our offense in the second half, and particularly in the money time, we weren't spacing them out. We were going through them pretty easily at times in the first half, especially coming out the game. The court was spaced.
Well, that's the 3 rules. I mean, that if a bad offense is being played, first of all, the first culprit is spacing.
Yeah,
it's spacing.
Yeah,
like you're not allowing yourself room to work,
right.
And you're not creating space for your teammate to work.
Right.
This team doesn't always give Bryce the room that he needs,
right.
And it's not exceptional at getting to Keisha
the
ball as quickly as he
so
needs
he can bust
right.
that head. Yep.
Right.
In the first couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Well, each time you know what to take away.
Right.
Illinois coach said, well, we were okay with Verge taking 25 shots, right? Because that means that everybody else
isn't even touching the ball.
They're not getting there, and they're watching. But the rule that Nebraska has to play from is this: if you need to rest,
offense,
you rest on offense.
Yeah, that was the
that.
key down the stretch. And like I said, by no means just from my, from playing and way back in the day, but I remember Walt West. He said, "Look, when you're a guard and you're attacking, there comes a time where you go into no man's land and you go too deep, and then you're in trouble." Now he used to always say, "Now 2 out of like 5 times that might work, but those 3 times are equivalent to 6 because you lose the rhythm." And
right.
I think
your point guard is in deep water, and they can run out and get an easy bucket.
Right. And here's also is I thought where Nebraska could do a little bit better job. And again, this is, I mean, for them to come back and play it after they played is pretty good, but this is a game that they definitely kind of let slip, especially down the stretch, is that I felt like I call it killing your dribble, right? I always feel like, especially with Verge and Webster, I think they're good enough ball handlers that in the right time, especially when they got to get out of trouble, I'm okay with them dribbling. And you saw Verge do it a couple times, but sometimes when they got too deep in the deep water, their life jacket is their dribble, and then they picked up their dribble, and then everybody's like, okay, what we do? Because then now it's condensed, right? So I think if they could just get better at that and find a way, especially the last 8 minutes of a game, to really focus in on the little things to win those games. And really it's just 3 possessions, a minute and a half. That's all
That's the run.
Can we get 3 out of 4 stops? Can we get 2 out of 4 good offensive sets.
That's the urgency. That's the urgency.
It
that
starts
we
on
keep
defense.
talking about.
One of the best shots that they didn't make, which sounds stupid, but is they came down. It was like 3 or 4 passes. The spacing was phenomenal. I think it was either Verge or Latman drove to the middle. Obviously, big fella stepped up. The guy in the corner stepped towards him. A great kick out to Wilcher. Great shot. Didn't make it. But they were able to get back on defense. 1-2 passes, they got the steal, come back. And sometimes I feel like you want in this is what shot selection. You want to be able to shoot reboundable misses. The ones that hit the front rim, or you throwing it up and you're down in the lane and you're Verge. That's fast break. You saw that against Creighton, right? So, it's a lot like the football team in the sense of you see things. You obviously seen, take out last game. You see some things that they're consciously trying to do, and it's working, right? Whether it's through Derek Walker, whether it's spacing, whether it's pulling guys out for bad shots, X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z. But then you just got to make sure they got to really, really hone in on those little things. And it's got to be something to where they create, and I'm just guessing, create an atmosphere in practice, right? To where whether maybe it's like you condition or you practice and then condition them real hard. And then
they're pretty good at that.
Well, no, here's what I'm saying. Do that. And then at the very end, you put 6 minutes up. Okay, we got to finish a game. Okay, we're up by 3. We're not shooting.
They're better. They've been better at practice with situational.
Sure. Or what I mean is maybe.
Well, because you got to break the seal on these young guys who don't know what to do in those situations.
Yeah, maybe try to help them understand this rebound or this missed opportunity on a box out. Instead of being down 1, now we're down 3. That changes how we can play offense.
Yeah.
Because if you're down 1, you're thinking going downhill. And if you don't make it, we're still playing with house money. We're still only down 1. Down 3, it changes your, all right, should I shoot this 3? Because if you don't make it, then you're down 5, right? So, it's always talk to people about when you see a defense give up a big play in football, everybody focuses on that. You better look at 2 plays before. Because that's where the cause came from.
That's where the fatigue came in. Rico, how you feel? You able to rant? You able to rant today? You
maybe.
Okay. We'll throw the break. Let us know how you feel when you come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course.
Ow! God! Ow! Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Starting the right career is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You want to enjoy your career, be challenged, have fun, earn a great weekly paycheck, and work for a great company. If you're looking for a career change or right out of high school, the John Henry's Plumbing Apprentice Program may be the perfect answer. You'll get paid while getting hands-on training. We focus on your skills while you engage in real-world learning. Why not join the John Henry's team today? Apply at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing. Heating it in. And now a limerick from the world of Young.
There once was a man in a bind. He's got the best wife in all mankind. And with Valentine's Day not that far away, he needs the greatest gift he can find. Jewelry can be hit or miss, and that vacuum was quickly dismissed. Flowers, they die. Homemade, don't be that guy. But what about that bakery in Beatrice? Liqueur cakes, you'll eat every crumb. Fruit cakes made with brandy, bourbon, and rum. And those chocolate cake squares. Do I have to drive you there? Get yourself to the world of Yum.
Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. 402-464-5685. If you want to contribute to the conversation, you're on the Sutter Heyman text line. You can text in or you can call in the Honda Lincoln hotline. Rico, kind sir, how you feel?
I feel better.
Okay. You got
Look better.
You got a what's up for us?
Just hot things. Just I don't understand why.
Now you know how the body works.
I don't understand why people think that, you know, I want to eat the hottest thing out there to prove that I'm some sort of tough guy or tough girl or tough person. Like, you don't need to put your body through that. I don't know what you're like. Why are you doing that? Your body is fine the way it is. Don't ruin it.
Your temple.
Yeah. Your body is your temple. Don't ruin it.
The temple is on fire.
Telephone ring and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that.
What's up?
Dude, man, I don't like seriously.
Now you understand, right?
Like things that are hot, like things that are unnecessarily hot, like hot wings are fine. Like regular buffalo, maybe a little bit hotter if you want to be a little dairy. You're like, I like the heat. But like unnecessarily like ghost pepper, scorpion pepper, Carolina Reaper
yeah.
bull crap like that. It's not necessary.
Is there a market for this? Like, say, like if you're living out,
they sell the packages now. you can actually buy so all the sauces that were in in the Hot Ones challenge. There's a kit you can buy. It's like $90.
But do they do it for say guys are over drinking beers and doing that? Or I mean, who's the market?
Anybody.
Oh,
it's just
frat boys,
that's what I mean.
like dumb people,
football players,
like my cousin-in-law. He bought Da Bomb, and he was showing us, and he goes, "Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the hottest sauces." And we were all sitting there, we're just like, let's try. It can't be that hot, right? It's one of those things where it's people yeah, no, you don't believe it. So we put the smallest little drip on a tortilla chip. Each of us took a bite. For 20 minutes, we were just sitting there why is this a thing? Why
did we do this? Why did we do this? The like I said, the difference between them, Jay came in and did 5, 6, 7, 8,
and 9.
Right. The build up is a tolerance kind of wake
it
up.
Helps you.
People think that's bad because you're just extending it, but no, it helps you build tolerance. The one chip, you just dive into the chip and ain't nothing you can do about it. Boom, you're in the middle of the fire.
It was terrible.
It's like you diving in the pool. You can either walk in, put your toes in, and walk up, or you can dive in.
I don't know if Buzzy is listening, and he's probably not. And also Cubsker. I made fun of them when they ate that.
Well, Tater,
I'm sorry.
Tater said he'd go again.
Yeah, Tater goes, Rico, I have a challenge for you. Let's both eat 2. I said, hell no.
Yeah, especially
no.
Now. Especially now.
Wonder, do you think Jake's listening?
Probably.
Well, this will be just stay in the circle of trust or the triangle of trust, right? The Bermuda Triangle. I just talked to my boy down there at the Dolphins.
Oh.
I said, y'all getting Bill O'Brien?
You know you're on air, right?
Yeah, I want Jake to hear this.
Okay.
Yeah, I want people.
All right. Well, then let's build this. Let's go to break, and then you leave with that.
Yeah, it's nothing much, but
let's leave with. Let's get the
Jake.
station ID in, and then we can come back and Jake can break his tech story.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Breakfast tacos, brisket tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos. You hungry yet? I can keep going. Pork or chicken, queso nachos, queso mac and cheese, hatch mac burritos. Now you're salivating. Muchachos is Lincoln's premier New Mexico barbecue fusion restaurant. You can't miss them in their bright blue building. Pair that great food with delicious coffee for breakfast and a variety of local and national beers on tap the rest of the day. Order your food online at yomuchacho.com or visit them in person at Muchachos on South 11th Street between L and K Streets.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Life was a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2 of Old School. Got a long day for you. Sean Jackson will come in at 11. Of course, you got Rico and Nick. If Rico can make it until 2 o'clock.
There will be a point today where I am in the bathroom for a while. So
it's
just
coming.
A heads up.
So, we know it's there. And then Bach and Strick.
Get you some baby wipes, man. You'll be all right.
I'll have to ask Jake to go buy them for me.
You need the ones that he needs.
Jake gonna need them.
He needs the toilet paper with the aloe.
Yeah, aloe or whatever. Yeah.
I really want to make I just want to see Jake eat something spicy, and the only way to do that is to make a bet with him. But then there's the chance that I would have to eat it again.
Right. Well, it's too late. It's too late because they're not in the playoffs. But
what's the text news?
Well, I text my buddy down there at the Dolphins and about Bill O'Brien. I was like, asked him if the rumor's true. He's like, there's definitely substance to it. He's like, I hope not, but we just fired the first winning coach we had in back-to-back seasons. So I would, and he's like, then he said, they have prior dealings, and that was it.
We could talk about the behind the scenes business side of this thing, right? Because it hits college sports, it hits high school sports.
It hits there's politics and everything.
Right. That. So let's get local with Bill Moose making a decision to extend Fred. First of all, do we understand what has to happen? How many people have to be involved?
Oh, I don't.
Right?
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
like how many people have to? How many regents and then?
I'm sure all of them have to be notified. I doubt you can whatever. I don't know how many you need to be to approve it. I don't even know how many there are. I don't even know the process of it. So
right.
at the end of the day, you got
12, and then there's the money behind the 12.
Yeah, but that's everywhere. But
right?
it is what it is, and I guess look, when if the team was playing a little bit better or maybe consistent, it really wouldn't be a big deal. The fact that the expectations, which is for this team, were way too high, and was built up. But everybody calls it the Kool-Aid, X, Y, and Z.
Okay, can I tell you how much I despise that phrase?
The Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, the hype, the hystericalness of
So why is recruiting such a big thing here? Hype.
It's a big thing everywhere, but
hype.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's bigger here.
Sure.
It's bigger here. Hype. It gives people a way to feel connected to the thing that they say they want to be connected to.
Right, of course.
And any move creates energy. That's why this stuff happens. That's why you have National Recruiting Day, and then the other National Recruiting Day, and then another National Recruiting Day, and then you've got a spring game, which is to add hype. It has zero value other than hype. So, of course, teams get hyped and overhyped in the offseason. That's when you overhype. That's the very purpose behind it, is to get people here. Like
yeah, I understand all that,
like,
but the way recruiting is, the fact that you have shows on a major on all the major networks or whatever, and all on the internet and all on the other stuff, the hype is everywhere. Now, the reason why it seemed like it's a little bit more here, because Nebraska is the only show in town. Or, Nebraska in its football is the only show in town, or not the only show, but it is the only. Nebraska is the only football team in town. Then you got Husker Hoops, and I don't know when the last time Husker Hoops has had a 5-star recruit. His brother was here, and he had a really good recruiting class for Nebraska. So then it got overblown. But
how do you not overblow it? That's my question.
How do you feel about the phrase off-season national champs?
Because you have we're
that's literally said everywhere.
We're the off-season national champs, and we're the press conference Hall of Famers or whatever. When people have press, I say it got overhyped because I've said it before, and I keep saying it. And we had Sipple in here. They're a very, very inexperienced team playing with each other, playing in the Big Ten. Yes, you have great pieces, but playing in the Big Ten against guys that have played together before is harder than just getting guys together and playing. And
how do you know? So this is the thing.
How do I know that?
No. How do you not hype or overhype when there are no games to be played? You can.
You can't. You will, but you also need to be, when you're in the season, it can't be, well, you're not 10 or 11-4. So everybody needs to go, and we need to blow this thing up again.
Yeah, I'm not a member of that club either.
But that's the way it is, though. It's feast or famine.
Well, no,
that's the way everybody else, not you.
Yeah, I don't have to follow. I don't have to follow what everybody.
Yeah,
else
we're not
does.
saying that what you're doing, but I'm saying the majority of people are okay. Well, you played bad, bad game,
blow it up.
But not coach. Can't do anything. Blah blah blah. It's over.
All in or all out.
All in, all
There's
out.
There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground.
Well, but there actually
you are either the best or everybody
reality,
sucks.
But you're talking about yourself when we're talking about the fandom.
Yeah, I'm
fan is like word for fanatic. If you look up fanatic, is like a crazy person. Right?
Like we know there's a middle ground, and you should strive to, kind of be in that middle ground. But right now everybody is either, national championship or bust, or you suck and everybody should be fired and everybody should transfer out, and we need entire new teams.
There's one team that gets it right.
The national champion.
Yeah. Every year. Everybody else is just hype and overextending. Why? Because you're fans of it. You're fans of it, and you should be. And
sure.
I'm okay
it's
with
their school. I mean, it's what makes Nebraska an appealing place as far as a basketball program, is that you well, not last night, but in general, that PBA is packed and rocking. It's a good experience. Now, they're all learning, and like I said, you're true alpha, emotional leader, both on the court, off the court, in meetings. Broke his foot very early in the season. You know what I mean? So that had an effect on the team. I think they could have had a couple more victories. I like Trey being in the game North Carolina State. I like Trey keeping us around when we're at Indiana when we kind of had control of the game. I like Trey in against Ohio State or somebody like that, right? He's not there. So you got to also look at all the factors, as far as, what's leading to the product. But I think a lot of times, the Nebraska fandom has, and this is not saying that there doesn't need to be improvement, right? So let's get that out of the way. So you're not saying, oh, well, everything's, peaches and cream. But I think sometimes it's boom or bust.
Yeah, it is extreme. Let's go to the Honda Lincoln Hotline. Jason's been waiting. Jason, what's up, Jason?
Good morning, guys. I see what you're saying there, Jay, and don't get offense when I'm off. Don't be all offended. But the coaching needs to be a little creative too. Yeah, you're not going to win it all, and yeah, the fans can have a whacked out perspective at times, but there's also times where Coach Fred Hoiberg and Sadler could have showed more energy or ingenuity and been creative, and maybe full court press against some tough teams. And, Coach Hoiberg, if he was on DP, might say, oh, our guys will get tired. Well, fine. Coach Jason says, do it once or twice up and down the court. Get a couple timely steals, maybe a 10-second violation, once a season. I don't know. Try something. The innovativeness hasn't been there. The rotation, guys like Trevor Lakes, who could be a good shooter, didn't play last night. And maybe there's a good reason. You talk to coach, oh, he got a shoulder. I don't know. I'm not the coach. We can't analyze everything because we don't always know everything as fans. But I do know that this is not good enough. Now, last night they played hard, and they could have won the game. They could have done a few things better, like hacking on Coburn probably. Pounding on him, making him shoot from the free throw line, but he's tough. But the effort, guys, come on, Jay. You go to these games. I've seen you at these games. Some of the effort on, especially against the Michigans and the Auburns. You may not have been at the Auburn game, but you saw it. You were watching on TV, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that you do control.
One effort.
Yeah, you need, the one thing as an athlete controls is effort.
Well, can we also say that this is this campus has been just beat up with flu and COVID. Like the guys aren't practicing on a regular schedule like they normally do. Like the guys, guys are coming off
around that time.
Like let's. I mean,
I think he's probably referencing earlier in the season.
Yeah, I mean, if you say 1 out of every 4 games that they're not, that the effort isn't, the energy isn't where it's supposed to be. Some of that's just natural.
Right. Sure.
Some of that's just natural.
It was a hard stretch. It was a new stretch for an inexperienced team. But ultimately, you got to show better. You got to find a way to dig deep. So you can't you can recognize it, but you can't use it as the crutch.
Well, they were talking about on the broadcast yesterday how Illinois had 2 5th or 6th year seniors who have been in this situation in a close game where you need to do certain things to get out of this game. And Kofi Coburn is in his 3rd or 4th year at Illinois, whereas Nebraska, their most experienced player would probably be Kobe Webster or Derek Walker. And Derek Walker's in his 2nd year here.
Well, remember,
but he didn't play his first half.
He played the first half last year. So it really is his first full season.
Yeah, and Kobe Webster's in his 2nd year here.
Here's a bananas stat that I want to say that Trevor Lakes needs probably 30 points to become a 1,000-point scorer, and on this roster, he would be like the 4th player who had it because Kobe and Trevor, et cetera, got theirs elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they've played games. They know how to play.
For sure.
The question is playing at this level together, which hasn't been the easy thing to do.
Well, and then Kobe's not playing, and Kobe wasn't playing very well in this game, so he was on the bench. And Trey's injured, and Trevor Lakes had a shoulder injury. They mentioned on the broadcast.
And there's some other stuff that's there. So there are a lot of things behind it. You're not trying to make.
Yes, I mean it's tough. I mean, and plus on top of it, Big Ten's tough, man. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough league. It's tough to get your program going. There's no nights off. You're going to play against players that are really, really good college players that you don't read about on all the little internet type of deals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at like Frazier last night. I mean, homeboy looked like he got prison swole on. He yoked up. So when he goes into the lane and he bangs you off on a pick and roll, and he's got a nice little mid range jumper,
You'll move. He won't.
So I mean, it's there's no night off, man. I mean, you got to come with it, and you got to find a way to grind these games out, and it's a hard thing to do.
It's easy to say, just like and I said it during football season. It's easy to simply say, well, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. It's an accumulation of a lot of things.
A lot of little things.
Right. And most people who are banging on the program don't really know what the program's trying to do from its operation standpoint.
Right.
Here's the system. Here's what's required of the system. Now, the fact remains they're 6-11, which means that they've missed some opportunities and they've laid some absolute turd burgers. Like there's both. All those things can be true.
Right. It's the old saying. Are you willing to go through the pain of discipline so you don't have to deal with the pain of regret? And there's probably about 3 games I bet you that I can think off the top of my head they probably regret.
Well, three games with field goals. I mean, just with free
defense.
throws.
I mean, you
with
start to see
3 games were free throws in hand. Final 45 seconds.
You lost to Western Illinois to start the season off. I don't care whose birthday it was. What are you a part of? I mean, that dude came down, hit a 3, came back, hit another 3. You were up by 5 with like 30 seconds left.
Again, 3 of those games immediately you can look at. And then you can look at 2 games within the Big Ten where you had the lead late. And
the emphasis has to be
they were ranked.
Every possession is like, you don't want to say life or death, but it's important.
Yeah,
it's
urgency.
Urgency.
It's urgency.
Yeah, it's for real. There is no, I gave up an offensive rebound, I'll get the next one. No. We got to get every single one. We're not good enough to afford to do that.
You gave up 3 offensive rebounds to 1 player on 1 possession.
And didn't resist at all.
Yeah.
And didn't resist at all. So that's the part where I don't know. I'm not telling fans how to feel. Feel how you feel.
It's going to change based on how they're playing. I mean, you could
winning fixes.
It does.
A whole lot.
If they beat Purdue, everybody's just like, this is great.
Well, for a game, and then they'll go back and say, okay,
and the next game,
now you got to do it again.
Happens.
And I'm okay with that.
You can't see improvement and then question why or how they got to improvement, right?
Mm-hmm.
You deal with this a lot in football, right? Say like, of course, the first game that Nebraska played, they laid an egg, they beat, whatever. Then if you see some improvement, then you can't say, well, it was against Northwestern. Well, if they played like they did the first game against Northwestern, you can't have it both ways. I always call it playing tennis, right? You can't be mad, serve the ball over, and then be happy, and then you got to pick one side or the other, or recognize that there is some improvement. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but it definitely they're I hate saying they're close, but they could there's things you see it, and if they could just take this recipe of the first, let's just say 30 minutes of the game, bottle that thing up, and that's what we're going to hang our hat on every single day, even in practice, meetings, everything like that. That's what we're doing. And then also don't run away from those last 10 minutes, right? Recognize, eat it, take it, learn from it, and have it be a conscious effort, right? It may be in the huddle. All right, 8 minutes. We got to win these last 8 minutes, or we got to win these last 4 minutes. It's almost like in football. I always talk about the 4-minute drill. I was like, it's the 6 minutes going in before halftime, 6 minutes coming out of halftime, and the 6 minutes finishing the game. Now, granted, a lot of teams come out. Well, sometimes we don't, but come out in those first 6 minutes, and then they're just done. But you want to win coming in at halftime, coming out of halftime, and you want to be able to finish strong. So if you could just focus on that and then take it to basketball, I think it could help out some.
Well, they've made what gives me some hope is watching the adjustments that have been made, like on different possessions where we can go in and internally we can change what our offensive focus is. We can change what our defensive focus is for several possessions.
Right.
And unless you're a basketball groupie, to get inside the systems that they're running, to acknowledge that, yes, there are adjustments, there's some major adjustments, and there's some minor adjustments that actually made it difficult for Illinois to process.
A good thing, these players, they know when they take a stupid shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Versus in the beginning of the season, they were just like, I'm shooting, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Yeah. We were talking about those mid-range shots the other day, and they were taking them last night. They were pump faking, they were getting in the lane. Off the pick and roll, it was there all night. Like you just
hit one.
Yeah.
Ball fake, came out the pick and roll, nice little 18-foot.
I actually think that's his space. Like,
yeah,
I think
it didn't look unnatural.
Right? Like
it looked like he's done that before.
Well, but
and he's comfortable doing it.
Well, Lat did it twice.
Yeah.
Derek Walker didn't want. That's the adjustment, the offensive adjustment that folks were talking about.
Right.
The two were done. One, we are going to get more touches for Derek. We are going to get more shots for Derek, but we're also going to engage and allow these players to make teams defend Nebraska at 3 levels. Right. And I just look, man, if you play basketball, you understand the difference between having to defend the 3-point line and the basket and then having to defend the mid-range.
Right.
And because people don't focus on it, it's a space where you can improve pretty quickly. It's a change in Fred's philosophy to allow players to get into that space and take those
Right. Yeah,
shots.
it's good.
They look comfortable taking
Right?
those shots.
Right? What you have to give the pass, and he said, "Listen."
And you got to
to
deal
me.
with you got to deal with progress. You got to deal with stubbing your toe. There's a couple times I think Bryce got blocked from behind. I know Lat got blocked a couple times where they weren't reading out of their peripheral, right? Or
They were-
feeling the guy off. You know what I'm saying?
They were looking at Kofi or whatever
They
the other
weren't
big
seeing
guy
where that guy was, and he was coming just getting you from the back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something that they got to continue to work on. And once they do, and they kind of get it, you're going to see some. Like I said it last week, this team is probably going to really look really good as long as they all stay in it together the last quarter of the season.
I said it before, they're going to get someone. They're going to get someone.
But you just don't want to. You want to get someone,
and then get the next one too,
and then double down on it.
No, I mean they're going to get like a big one.
Yeah.
But they're gonna get the other ones. Like they're gonna win some games, but they're gonna get one big team. They're gonna get them.
I'm fascinated when people talk about the former this basketball program as it was. You do recognize this is not Michigan basketball, right? Like, do people realize this isn't North Carolina or Duke or right?
Right.
The level of success here hasn't been.
Oh yeah,
right. So to get these young players to come here and forget the past. Look, and let's also say the recruiting for next year looks pretty good already, right? You've got a legitimate 6'6" point guard coming in who is a bona fide shark.
Every time his dad posts those highlights of him, I'm watching the whole thing.
Right, like you've got guys coming in. That point guard answer for next year has already been answered. You're going to get a second answer because Trey comes back, and then I think Trey comes back.
I hope Trey comes back.
Right? Like, I think that's a thing that you could kind of ponder and say, okay, next year you've got Blaze Keita comes to town.
That's a big
right, which will help you answer. You get Breidenbach back, right?
Yeah, there's stuff there, and I, it's one of those things like you gotta re-recruit the guys on the roster because all these kids, they think jumping into Vortex is the answer. Look, we're making progress. Stay in into it. Next year it'll pop and come into fruition because it's realistic in the sense of where you got some toughness with Wiltshire, you got Trey coming back, you got Bryce starting to kind of if you can take what he did last night, seeing a little bit more toughness going to the hoop. You got it there. And then you got some guys that are just young with a ton of potential. You got Eduardo Andre that is a ton of potential. You got to get him to mature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's 10 days of practice, you got to make sure at least 9 of those days we're here with the right mind frame to get better.
That's the difference.
And then you got Lat Man that's got to learn how to with a 6'9" frame and that big old up. I mean, he's almost built like Kevin Willis. Remember Kevin Willis?
He's got to shoot quicker.
He's got to shoot quicker. He's got to learn
unfolds.
Yeah.
He's got to shoot quicker. He's got to learn how to maybe add a 2 or 3 different type of aspects to his game. But the biggest thing that he can improve on is because he can jump and he's physical. I'm assuming he's somewhat tough. The rebounding. If he could be a constant, because he has the quickness to grab maybe 1 or 2 offensive rebounds, and then obviously up the defensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start to do that, I mean, you got some stuff to get there. They're obviously recruiting at a high enough level, like DP said, to get guys to come here, whether it's the opportunity or what they're doing. I think a lot of kids now aren't going to places to win; they're going to places to get theirs, which might be also harder, but also I think it's a selling point for Nebraska.
Well, I mean, and understand that this may be the first or last time that this program can be selective in who it brings in. Remember Hoiberg when he first got here? He went to the swap meet. Like
right.
he went to the swap meet, right? He went to the dollar store to get players.
He was like,
and of course, you were going to turn that over. You had to turn that over. So then you go from shopping at the dollar store to the $5 store, which is a little bit better for you, but still you understand what you're buying. You get what you pay for. Then finally you take that and go from $5 to go into the $1,000 store and getting you a 5-star with a bunch of 4 stars that have to learn how to play together. And then you stockpile that by putting 2 4-stars in the cupboard for next year.
Right.
You'll also go into the transfer portal. This is a process. This is a process. And
it's not easy.
You're in the Big Ten. Look, it's one thing if you're in the Pac-12 and you're in the ACC and you can fill spots. You're in the Big Ten. So filling those spots require, that you don't miss and that you shoot big. This program hasn't been able to shoot big for a very long time. And now you have 5 stars and 4 stars in the building. You have more coming.
Get them to stay here and develop.
Yep,
and
you have more coming.
Like
and so accept the bumps now and then figure out how you're going to do it. The problem, and I get it, and I've been told this by Husker fans, is the fact that they've never gotten over the hump. And okay, I get that, right? I absolutely get that. But it doesn't mean you stop cheering.
I don't think these guys are built like a few years ago, the team that didn't get over the hump.
Right.
I agree with you. I don't think that. I think it's a totally 2 different makeup and culture of the team.
Right.
I think if this team was in that situation, they more than get over the hump.
Right.
And so
I get. Well, that's from the text line.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so we can talk about that because some of that's in the text line and some of that's call and response. This is Old School 937 The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Ed Orgeron joins us. You have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that?
I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kiffin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay? What? Hey, welcome back into Upside.
Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Breakfast tacos, brisket tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos. You hungry yet? I can keep going. Pork or chicken, queso nachos, queso mac and cheese, hatch mac burritos. Now you're salivating. Muchachos is Lincoln's premier New Mexico barbecue fusion restaurant, and you can't miss them in their bright blue building. Pair that great food with delicious coffee for breakfast and a variety of local and national beers on tap the rest of the day. Order your food online at yomuchacho.com or visit them in person at Muchachos on South 11th Street between L and K Streets.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez-Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Old School with DP and J. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. Let's welcome Mark Onweiler into the studio.
Oh, hey guys.
What are you doing here?
It was kind of a blur. Rico came running out and said, "Mark, you need to go in there." So I
Tank!
Hey, I didn't ask any questions. I'm here.
Look, it's one thing to eat the chip. He drank. How many ounces is that bottle?
I don't even want to touch it.
16 ounces.
32
So he
ounces.
drank
of
32 ounces
and ate a full thing of what is it? How many ounces is that?
That's another pint.
Yeah. Pint, so he ate a pint of ice cream and drank 32 ounces.
And wonder
of
why he
milk.
has bubble guts.
Right, like he's good. Like the guts are coming.
That's
man.
what killed me because I'm lactose. I can't do that.
Right.
So then I had to find different ways.
Oh, it's Mark. You've gone through this. You've done this thing.
Yeah.
What's Rico going through?
It hit Rico faster than it ever hit me.
I mean, when I was just hoping, I told him, like, dude, you're gonna throw up. You gotta go outside. I can't watch that.
Like he went face in.
Oh yeah,
the trash can.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know what's in that trash can right now.
Right. Let's
He
take
was willing
that
to
out.
willing to put his face in that.
Yeah, let's take that out of the room. Let's do that.
Yeah, he was in a bad spot,
Right.
and quickly.
Yeah, like it hit him hard.
With you guys doing the wings, I watched it. Like it kind of slowly came over.
It was
you.
just that one wing. It was either number
It was
7
the
or
bomb.
It was
the
number
bomb.
7 or
It was
number
the
8.
bomb. It was the bomb they got.
9 wasn't that bad.
Right.
But then what made me mad is that one was the worst one. That should be like 9 or 10.
They fool you. Like I've always wondered why they put the bomb at 7.
It's like they get you comfortable. Yeah, you doing all right. Because I was like, oh, these first two, they ain't that big deal, right? And then you're waiting. Nothing really kind of kicked up after that. Ate the whole wing.
Right.
Cleaned the bone on both the first two.
Right.
7.
After
flashbacks.
Hey, after that first bite, I had to apologize. I dropped the word. I was like, oh my God. I wanted to put my face in the freezer. Like how you put your lips in there.
Right.
But then you'd be like the Christmas story to get stuck up there on the metal. But
there's Jay stuck to
right.
the refrigerator.
Right. Give me some hot water. Hot water, my lips are on fire. But yeah, it's no joke. And then what's messed up is about the chicken wings is like, so okay, you get through the first day. It'll be like 2 days later, and then you'll just have, I don't know if it's a flashback or just like a little spice that somehow stayed in your mind. Because I went home, brushed my teeth 4 times, mouthwash.
Right.
I mean, every time I was going, I'm trying to get any remnants of that out of my mouth. Then it would be like, where'd this come from?
There's a seed that's been
Right.
hiding
in there.
It's been hiding in there,
Yeah.
and then you cough it up, and you
Right.
just go, there.
Welcome back.
There it is. You thought I was.
And then you
done with-
pause, like, am I going to go through this again? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Rico's gonna have a tough day. Like
He
there's
got a
no-
long day. You know when it's gonna hit him? He's gonna be about because him and Nick are what 2 to 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, about 2:30. Well, hey, because you know when you first get that first,
Oh,
hey,
man.
wait,
Yeah,
hey,
that
when
one
you get
just-
that first rumble and you stop, you know, like when
Yeah.
you like stop and you don't want to move. Rico going to be back there, and Nick's going to make a point, and Rico's going to try to voice his opinion. You're just going to hear him push the mute button and walk out.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Nick, I agree. That's a really good.
We got to go to break. Well, it just started 2
And
minutes
then-
ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that afternoon with the Wings, it was just there was a moment where I was mid sentence and I just stopped.
Yeah.
It was okay. Process this.
You evaluate every place you go, where the bathroom is.
Yep.
Who goes in the bathroom? Because that's a big thing for me. I ain't going if at that point in time.
Yeah.
If I see some shady characters going there, then I'll just go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's no joke.
We're rooting for you, Rico. That's what that is.
That's some prayers.
But,
yeah.
but you know, here's the difference between him and Cubster. Like Rico got his color back. He was fine.
Yeah, because it got into his system quicker.
Yeah.
And now it's just down there and it's Rocky in the meat room just
Yeah.
banging Rico's
Yes.
ribs. It's it's just pounding.
Yeah.
It's pounding.
It's ground. It's old Rex Ryan ground and pound, right?
He's got it. It's crazy. From the text line, and Jay, I want your opinion on these because this is what's there. He said that okay, this is where I want. Does roster turnover mean poor coaching?
Not in this day and time. Guys leave for no reason. I mean, heck, Alabama just lost in the national championship. They had 7 dudes in the transfer portal. One of them was a co-starting tight end.
Right.
And one was another outside linebacker, inside linebacker. That now he started because Christian Harris was hurt, but he was actually really productive. He started in Miami. He started the first 3 or 4 games and played. You know, so that has nothing to do with coaching. It just has to do with guys want to play. Maybe they felt like they didn't play as much as they should or could, you know, during the year, and they want to go somewhere else and see if it works out, you know. But it very rarely works out.
That's across the board. Should Tim Miles have been fired? Yes or no?
I don't know. Well, I mean,
Mark,
I don't
you were
even
here too.
remember what the reasons were. What was the reason?
Mark, you were in for this.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the problem with Tim Miles was he set the bar so high for himself early on. You know, he made tournament second year, went on that run, and then never quite got back to that level. Now, I mean, what was the year? They were a last second shot away from beating Kansas. They win that game. And
They're in
make
the tournament. Yeah,
right.
Then they
Like,
went down to Mississippi State and didn't look good.
yeah,
and
yeah.
lost.
So I mean, he had a rough go of it there at the end, but I mean, he was producing at a higher level than you're currently getting. Now, Hoiberg's had to retool the whole thing, right? Like you guys have gone over that, you know, the different challenges. It's not apples to apples comparison
Right.
there, but
I'm sure there was a lot of complaints the last year, Tim Miles, right?
Oh,
Sure,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you looked at the talent. That was kind of the complaint was
Right.
like he had a system, but the talent wasn't there to compete in the Big Ten. So you brought in somebody that could recruit that could bring that in.
What was that the main issue? Was that the talent level wasn't where folks wanted it to be?
Yeah, I think the Petaway thing, because everything was predicated on him and his body language was a big deal. He left. I know he had some personal stuff going on, so actually that probably supersedes basketball. And so that hurt the team because everything was kind of focused around him. He was going to get his shots, get his points. I don't know about the talent. I don't really, maybe a little bit needing more talent, but that's just the way it goes at Nebraska. You're going to have, the Cookie Belchers, Teron Lue, the Eric Stricklands for a while, Vincent Hamiltons, the Bernard Garners, Mikey Moore. You're going to have that group of guys where you're like, man, we got some guys that, whether they came from JUCO or local guys, meshed up 3 or 4 year run, and then you're going to have a dip, and that's the way it is at Nebraska. So you got to be able to ride through that low tide.
But those Tim Miles teams, like they had to grind out every game, right? Like that was, and I think that just kind of wore on folks.
People
Like,
got mad because he always did the 3-man weave dribble handoff.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Now people are like, we should do more 3-man weave dribble handoff.
Well, that's why I laugh at all of this, because it's like people forget.
Yeah, revisionist history.
Yeah, we want what we want. Can this program ever get the talent level of the Strickland, Boone, Pike era? Can that ever happen?
Well, Strick is a local guy. You could say Pike was, right? I mean, he's from South Dakota or North Dakota, wherever he's from. So I think you got to, get a local guy. And the good thing, and then the bad thing for Nebraska is a lot of the local talent is starting to really, not starting, is out there on a national level, right? Now, the bad thing, just like with football, or the hard thing is, now you got people that are coming in your borders and getting these guys. And sometimes, and I see a lot, I used to see this all the time with the Minnesota Gophers, right? They got the Chet kid out at Gonzaga, the other guy that went number 1 or number 2 last year that hit the last second shot. They're both from Minneapolis, and they're mad at Richard Pitino for not keeping them home. Well, these are national guys, right? The Tyus Jones, the Jones brothers, both of them going to Duke. Can you really be mad that he goes to Duke? Can you really be mad? You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you get the guys that you can get locally, groom them, develop them, and then just go from there.
It's perspective.
Sure.
Perspective. That the easy thing to say is burn it to the ground. The hard thing to say is burn it to the ground. There is no in between. So we're trying to find a space where this program can be identified for what it is, where it currently stands. The current location is you are 6-11 after coming off a 7-win season and another 7-win season. The direction will tell you whether you're doing the right thing.
Sure.
And until you reach that point, you're going to be in this discussion. That's going to be this program's discussion. I do want to ask you both, when we come back from the break, the contract extension, why was it done? And what will the result be? Why was that contract extended? And then what will the result be? You have time to think. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in Westo and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on Westo Street at Price Right Auto.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Ed Orgeron joins us. You have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that?
I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kiffin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're
definitely coming back.
For sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Breakfast tacos, brisket tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos. You hungry yet? I can keep going. Pork or chicken, queso nachos, queso mac and cheese, hatch mac burritos. Now you're salivating. Muchachos is Lincoln's premier New Mexico barbecue fusion restaurant. And you can't miss them in their bright blue building. Pair that great food with delicious coffee for breakfast and a variety of local and national beers on tap the rest of the day. Order your food online at yomuchacho.com or visit them in person at Muchachos on South 11th Street between L and K Streets.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh man. Welcome back. Final segment of old school. Rico's back. Welcome
Hi,
back.
everybody.
Welcome back.
I'm here.
You all right?
I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something a little personal, and I hope you guys understand this.
You all right?
I have never gone to the bathroom and had my stomach get hotter.
There it is.
Your stomach is engaged right now. It is fully engaged. You missed the conversation. We were talking about basketball in general. But Bill Moose hands the extension to Hoiberg, increases the buyout. So I'm trying to figure out where does this thing land? Why was it done? What does it accomplish? Jay, you brought up this thing that maybe the bigger question. What's in this thing? Why was it kept private?
Yeah, that's probably more of the bigger story. I mean, obviously, just on the surface, if you called him up there in his ranch, he'd probably say, "I believe in Fred." He sees more of the work of the football staff and what they're doing than anybody else, and knows them a lot better than anybody else. And so that's understandable. But I'm not really sure what the protocol is. If you do give somebody an extension, do you have to announce it? I think it's probably more of a bigger deal because of the outlandish expectations in Nebraska not meeting them. Then it becomes a story.
Whose expectations?
Well, I mean, it's boom or bust with the fandom. I mean, they think like, oh, you get some good players, you have a good recruiting class, and next thing you know, we're the Duke Blue Devils or whatever. So,
woohoo!
But look, like I said, there's still the pain of regret, and the pain of regret for a few games, and then you got some eyesores out there. So they just got to keep battling, and I'm sure those questions can and will be asked by people that have somewhat of an answer. I mean, I think that the biggest question that I've heard or read is like, why do it? And it was during COVID, right in the middle of, I don't even think we were going to play
revenue dump. We knew that they were losing money.
Yeah, but we weren't even sure we were going to play football at that time.
Right.
So that all that stuff is probably interesting just because of the dynamics of it. And look, if we can turn the season around basketball wise, it's not that big a deal.
So winning is the cure for and it answers all the questions.
Well, it not answers all the questions. It definitely answers a lot of them. I mean, people don't understand process an improvement in this day and time. They want instant gratification, right? I call them Chia Pet fans and parents, right? Go to one practice, my kid's LeBron. Get a couple good recruits. We're national champs, or we're going to be winning the Big Ten. It's just not like that. So now we're at the point to where we have to look at every little detail and try to poke holes in the process of progress that they're seeing in every day. You mentioned how they're practicing situational conditioning and all that stuff. Then it's going over to the games. Now they have to find a way to go that extra step, win the games. And so it's a process. You definitely don't want to learn that during a Big Ten season. But the extension obviously sheds light on stuff because it's a pretty big, chunk of change. But I also don't think this. I'll say this. I don't think there's a man on that coaching staff that's going to sit in front of a camera and be in that like he's owed something or he's committing grand larceny by getting paid. They're all competitive, and I think they'll get it right.
Let's go to the Honda Lincoln Hotline. Dave, what's up, Dave?
Hey, DP and Jay.
So
you got 11 losses right now. Realistically, 3 or 4 more losses, you're at 14 and 15. Any chances of a postseason, which was probably bleak anyway, are gone. But people are saying, well, he's got to build. Well, you're probably going to have 5 or 6 guys gone next year. And you got to find another point guard for next year.
You have
probably brand new.
You have a point guard for next year.
So you're going to start all over again,
Dave.
And
Dave, you have a point guard. You have a 4-star legitimate point guard coming in next year.
Yeah, but he hasn't played in the Big Ten yet. Yeah. He's going to be a freshman, and it's going to be tough, DP. I know. I'm not, it's just tough, man, in the Big Ten. You need big guys too, but anyway, thanks for taking my call, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I mean, look, Ramon Lloyd's.
Yeah, he's not the answer to all your questions. He's another piece to the puzzle. It's going to take him the time to adjust, just like anybody else. So, but he knows how to play the point. The good thing about him, the experience that he's learned playing in those high level, I call them mini Big Ten feeder games for ever since he's been in 8th grade. The amount of basketball acumen that he gets from sitting at the dinner table with his dad, going to the gym with his dad, the amount of basketball he's watched his learning curve is going to be ideally is going to be very short. So you can almost bank on him being an asset right away. But they're still going to be learning because there's no games to do, right? And he's going up against opponents that he doesn't know. You get what I'm saying? So he's going to be learning. But his experience of what he's doing in high school, who he's playing with in high school, where he's playing in high school, and what he's doing in the summers is going to pay off. So, there's going to be more, groceries in the cupboard. And then you got to mix in with the guys you got right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's not playing, Lincoln East.
No,
he's not playing any slouches.
He's
not.
He's in the Shark Tank,
but he's still going to have to come in, learn. There's guys here that have played. He's not, he's going to. I mean, and he's built for it to come in and earn his minutes and stuff like that. So, I just think that they got to continue to improve. He's going to be a big part of it. I'm assuming Trey, Bryce, and all those guys are as well. And then they got to get some, guys to clean up on them boards. I always say clean up on aisle 3. You got to get guys that are going to love to get dirty and I think, get more physical, get physically bigger and stronger. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and I don't think, to be clear, nobody's justifying 6 and 11.
No, not at all.
Like, nobody's
like I
justifying,
said,
and nobody's justifying saying, well, Fred's doing a great coaching job,
dude.
Look, this team is 6 and 11.
6 and 11,
and they need to make plays and figure out how to run the systems that are asked of them.
And we could do shoulda, coulda, woulda, but all I say is there's probably 3 to 4 games I would ask, was the pain of discipline worth the pain of regret that we got right now? Because if we even have 2 more wins, we're having a different conversation
entirely.
And they were all controllable too. This,
free throws. Free throws.
Emphasis on free
throws. Free throws. Thank y'all for hanging out. 101 is next. Don't go anywhere.
breakfast tacos, brisket tacos,